everyone, and welcome back to the United Star. Today we have an exciting preview for the Tottenham Hotspur game with two super fans from MUSC Delhi in Aryan and Paras. And let's get straight into it because the mind games have begun. Jose Mourinho is back to face Manchester United, and we are not looking that good. Or should it not be a problem, Aryan, going into this game? How do you assess Manchester United's form?
So like the start has not been that good. Like I expected much better than from United. But like we have to take a lot of things into consideration, being the fact like we haven't really had a preseason. Considering the fact that Tottenham has had four to maybe 5 games, like for the preseason, and then after that they've played around six matches before us. They'll play, and I think tonight will be the seventh. So I feel like we could do much better. I think Pogba's recovering from he's recovered from COVID. So I think another 2-3 more sessions we have training sessions, and I think we'll be back to where we were. So I'm pretty confident about that. So let's see.
Paras, I want to throw the same question to you, but what I want to ask you is that we played technically 4 games now, two in the cup and two in the league. We were dismal against Palace. We weren't very good against Brighton in the league, but we did play well yesterday. So, do you see that we're going in the right direction, as Aryan is saying, or do you feel that we're far away from playing any decent football? Because what fans and me included is unable to understand is why is there such a big drop off from last season, and why do players look so tired?
Right, so I think this all goes back to not having a proper preseason. I would say we didn't have much of the ball time. Like nobody got a chance to spend 60 minutes or 90 minutes on the field back to back within a few weeks. Like we usually have preseasons all the time, right? So this is, I would say, this is an impact of the Corona situation that was going on. And if we would have had a better preseason, I am pretty sure we would have started on a similar note as last season. And I think the last 4 matches, I think I feel very indifferent. I would give Ole much more time. I would want him to like find his best team since he has signed Van de Beek as well. So how the player settles in, how he comes into our formation. There are a lot of permutation combinations going on, and like it would be interesting to understand like how it fits in our formation, or you can say our system overall. And if we tend to like if we end up signing a few more players, I would want to understand how Ole would want to build his team. 4 games is just like very little time to like to judge a season start, I would say. And since we have played Brighton twice back to back, if you're talking about the last game that was last night, I think Brighton had, I think they were fielding their second team, right? There are not a lot of starters over there for the previous match. So
Yeah.
if we see that, I think I wouldn't give my judgment on the basis of that yet, since we were also building a second fiddle team. Not much of a starter player, like Greenwood wasn't there, Bruno wasn't there. So I think it's too early to judge like where we stand right now.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a very interesting point, Vishesh, that we haven't had the preseason. But do you think that it is something that it's a mentality problem as well? Because there is a lot of negativity surrounding the club. There is a lot of the transfers haven't gone through. The players know that. It's not like the players are living in an information bubble that they don't get these things. And there is some sort of it doesn't feel right when you see the team take the field like it felt after lockdown last season. So do you think something of that is creeping in as well, or is it just down to not enough football?
Roshan, there are multiple factors. I mean, we lost against Crystal Palace, and everyone was like, Ole is out of his depth. But then we saw how City lost to Leicester, Wolves lost as well over the weekend, Chelsea isn't performing, and it all goes down to not having a preseason. We saw Bayern also lose 4-1. Even they haven't had a good amount of preseason. So you cannot expect players just to come in and, click all of a sudden. If you look at the lockdown situation, when we came back from lockdown, the players had sufficient time to train together. And it wasn't like they were not training during lockdown. They were still training at their place. Even though it may be secluded, it was still happening. So we cannot just say that, um, the performance is bad because the players are bad. The players are good. We saw that last season. It's just that a preseason was needed. And well, 4 games are done. So I think 4 games do constitute for a preseason. So I think coming into the Spurs game, the preseason argument cannot be there. And just referring to your full transfer thing, I think that's obvious, right? We saw Luke Shaw come out and say that we need more players to do well in different competitions. Van de Beek has also come out and said we need more players. Uh, Ex-players like Rio Ferdinand, Patrice Evra, they've all come out and publicly spoken about the club. And as a fan base, I'm sure Paris and Aryan agree with me. It's just very negative to see the way Matt Judge and Ed Woodward are running it. So there's nothing that can be done about that, and the players can't openly come out and say that Glazer's out because they play for the club. So that's all they can do. But I'm pretty sure they all know what the transfer situation is like.
Right. So I think y'all have made some very valid points, and I kind of agree with y'all that there are multiple factors that have. It is going to be an indifferent season. I think we have to accept that. You never know when what is going to happen. But Paras, the mind games have started. Ole initiated it. Jose has jumped onto the bandwagon. He loves to do it. Ole came out and said it is good that he wasn't there to measure the goalposts. Mourinho replied by saying he should focus on the length of how big the box is. So, what do you think? Do you think that these mind games will help us, and what do you make of it?
I think mind games never affect managers a lot. I think they just want to pass commands, but it doesn't come to them because they're very strong-willed. They're very you can say very different kind of people. Like managers are different from players. Players get affected by what is happening outside the field. Managers tend to not well into what is going on the social media or what is being written in the newspapers. So I think from what I know of Ole, like what his character is, how strong-willed he is, I don't think it would be affecting him for the coming game. And I hope we defeat Spurs against them, and I think that would be great to just shut up Mourinho and set
Yeah.
him back into his place. Yeah.
Yeah. But Aryan, we've seen more often than not, Jose Mourinho is the master of a press conference. He's the master of the mind game. Do you think we should be indulging him at all? Because when it comes to his ego, he sort of lifts his game a little bit more.
I don't think we should be indulging in this because like it's classic Marino. If you've seen like before every very like a press conference that's held and like a very like an important match, it's always there. Like it's obviously not like it's coincidental that it leaked that Mourinho said like Ole is out of this depth as United because like he started with his mind games and like we all know that we all know it personally because when he was our manager it used to happen with other clubs, other managers. So
Correct.
like
Yeah.
I mean it doesn't really matter. So like for a club like United and a manager like Ole, I feel like him being a player, he he wants his players to do better, and he wants his players to he doesn't really care about what happens like on in a press conference because if you've seen him in a press conference, he usually gives very diplomatic and very subtle answers about everything so that like people don't make speculations.
That's
So
true.
yeah, so that is what I feel about this. But like Ole should not. I don't think like this is going to affect Ole like right now or in the long run with any other manager as well.
hmm That's again a valid point because Ole never comes out and says stuff that Mourinho does. He never throws his players under the bus. He doesn't talk about football heritage. But let's Vishesh. What I want to ask you is that Mourinho traditionally doesn't have a good record against his former clubs. He's just managed to beat Lampard, even that too on penalties. So, what do you expect going into this game tactically? How is this going to sort of play out? Do you expect a classic park the bus versus possession play from Man United, or do you expect a pressing game from Mourinho?
I think Mourinho knows the issue with United, like all other Premier League teams, that if you press United down, you can win the ball within their half and then go on and score. That's a tactic all Premier League teams are using against us, and we seem to not be able to break that down. But I don't see him parking the bus. They've started off the season very well, except for the first game. They've come back and played some amazing football. I think they have the confidence going into the game. The Chelsea win was also a confidence to a certain degree. So they'll be going out all guns blazing. But I see United standing up to the occasion because again, we're going to see the likes of Martial, Rashford, and Pogba having a point to prove against the manager who wanted to, send them off. So the players are going to be motivated for this one, and since it's the game before international break, they would want to win this.
Mhm. I agree with that actually. That I think Mourinho will come out and press. Aryan, having said that, what kind of lineup are you expecting? Do you see the same sort of lineup that we were playing with the post-lockdown period? So,
So
what do you
like
think?
like you've seen yesterday that like Bruno and Martial were not there in the start, like leave starting lineup. They weren't even there in the substitutions basically. So and like there was a speculation that like he's had a thigh knock or something, and like so I feel Bruno's gonna sit this one out. That is what I feel. I mean, it's possible that he comes in and like he's fit enough to play for the match, but I feel it's gonna be a Van der Beek, Pogba, Matic midfield, Daya starting on goal, obviously. And I think it's going to be Bai instead of Lindelof. And it's going to be Maguire if he's fit again. Otherwise, we are going to see Bai and Lindelof again. And it's going to be Shaw and Van der Beek as fullbacks, Van Bissaka as fullbacks, and like the classic front three, Martial, Rashford, and Greenwood. So that is what I
Mhm.
expect.
Right. Paras, do you agree with that? Bruno Fernandes probably missing out. Bai starting ahead of Lindelof. De Gea will keep his place against Dean Henderson. Do you agree with these assessments?
Yeah, I think for for the centre back, I think I'm pretty sure that Bai is going to start alongside Maguire. And I think for the left back, I think we would be going with Shaw for sure. Like this, since Williams already played in the midweek, what we call the midweek. So I think Shaw would be starting for sure. Van Bissaka at right back, like second doubts about that. For the midfield, I think I'm pretty sure Fred is not going to start. We will be having Matic, which is I think who is the most crucial player for me in our lineup, alongside Pogba of course. And I think it would be interesting to see if Bruno starts or Bruno is on the bench. That depends on him probably passing the fitness test. We still have time. Still Wednesday, Thursday. We still have 2 3 days to assess him. If he starts, I think we would be going for the win, of course. And if Van de Beek start, I would be a less optimistic for him in that case because he's very new to the Premier League. Plus, he's very new to Jose Mourinho. Mourinho knows how to mark players and how to go about his game. He's a very tactically skilled manager, according to me. So when he sees a player like Van de Beek, who's very intelligent, very clever on the field, I think he would be very tightly marking him and would not be allowing him to run into spaces, which he's usually doing in most of the matches. And
Right.
for the front three, I think it would be Greenwood, Marshall, and Rashford, of course. So I think this would be my lineup. But I would still want Bruno to start, even if he had a little knock. It's the last game before the international break. I think what I know of his character, I am very sure he would be cunning. He would be asking Ole to begging him to just make him start the game because this is our strongest lineup, and I think it would be the perfect moment. I think this is a prime. This is a very important match for us. This is this is a momentum shifting match also, and I think if we go for a win and get the win against Tottenham against Mourinho, I think it would set the confidence very high. Plus, we are having trouble in the market as well, buying players. We have had no players coming in, just Van de Beek. So I think this would really lift the dressing room, I would say. So I think it is very important for us to win, and it is very important to feel the best side that we have.
Right. I think Vishesh will agree more with I think Paras with the fact that Bruno will start. But I have just one point on Bai. He's played 2 games now in 7 days. We know he's prone to injury, and that's my only argument. That is, it's almost as if Ole wants to keep him in cotton and wool and protect him because he can get injured at any time, and if he gets injured, he's out for long periods of time. So, do you think Bai might be protected in that way, or it's time to let go of that and give him a good run in the team and see what comes of that? Because clearly he's been defending better than Lindelof has been since the start of the season. And Vishesh, I know your 11 is going to be a little similar, so I'm going to ask you another question. Is you've already said that Mourinho is going to press us. So, how do you think we're going to get out of that outlet? And in terms of playing from the back, what changes do you see that we need to make, having seen the first 4 games now?
I think it all goes down to the lineup. I don't see Lindelof starting this game. I see Eric Bailly starting it for the simple reason: A, pace. B, I mean, you got to play your best squad. You cannot be like he's injury prone, so I'm not going to play him, and I'm just going to play him in Carabao games. Carabao Cup is over. After this, you have a 2-week break because of international duty. I don't think Eric Bailly is going for international duty, so he can definitely play one more game, and Lindelof can take the seat, because we know Eric Bailly is a rash defender, but he knows what he is doing. He has the pace to fall back, so that's why I think our defense would be Shaw, Maguire, Bailly, and Wan-Bissaka. Talking about the press, there's not much that can be done about it. You aren't going to be changing De Gea for Henderson or something like that. De Gea is going to be in goal. We just need to have some slick passing and ensure that Matic does not give the ball away, because we see that Matic comes back as a 3, right? So it generally becomes Maguire on one end. In normal cases, Lindelof on the other, and Matic as a centre between
center
both
back,
of them.
right?
So we need to ensure that Matic can move the ball quickly, which is why Matic plays over McTominay and Fred, because McTominay and Fred take time on the ball. And another thing that I would go for in this game is I would make Pogba sit on the bench. I think Pogba comes on, let Van de Beek and Bruno play, because if you look at Van de Beek and Mata, when Van de Beek and Mata are playing, there's a sort of communication that takes place that we do not see in other players on the pitch, as we saw in the second goal. I think Bruno and Van de Beek can get the same thing, because they both are smart footballers and know how things go. And yeah, my front three is the same of Martial, Greenwood, and Rashford.
I actually just have a contrary point to that. I don't think that Van de Beek and Bruno can start this game, for the simple reason that we lose any physicality that we have in the midfield. Matic cannot run anymore. Pogba is literally our only player who can sort of compete with the likes of Højbjerg, and I don't know if Sissoko is fit to start, but Harry Winks at least. So if these players, Sissoko, Winks, Højbjerg, if these guys are in the midfield, I don't think Donny van de Beek and Bruno can handle that sort of physicality. And I'm expecting that's what Spurs are going to do. That's what like a sort of what Mourinho will do is he'll try
haven't we
to.
done it before when we beat Mourinho for the first time with Bruno, McTominay, and Fred, and then the
No,
second
but
time-
Fred and Van de Beek, Vishesh, aren't the same players. So
But
Fred can break the channel, but Van de Beek can't. Yes, Aryan.
I
Sorry.
feel what Vishesh is saying could also be right, because like if you've seen if you've seen what like Mata and Bruno, when they play together, they have a very good they have a very good 1-to-1 when they're playing together, and we've seen exactly what Vishesh said. Like we saw last night that Mata and Van de Beek have the same thing. So why can't Bruno and Van de Beek have the same mindset too while playing the game? So like they could have, like, because if you've seen in the United game style, we come in from the side and we start playing short passes inside the D box to get a clean shot, right? And that is what Van der Beek was doing for us yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
That is
If
what
we start, if we start Van de Beek alongside Bruno, trust me, we're gonna lose badly, three goals
Yeah.
or 4 goals, because
I
because
think
some
so.
we need
I
a
sure-
personality in the midfield to hold the ball, to pass the ball along. Mattis is gonna probably be a third
Yeah.
defender, right? Third in line. Somebody has to be ahead of him. That would be Pogba. Because if you bring Van de Beek, he's more of an attacking player, and I don't see him passing a lot. I don't see him making long balls or passing sideways or ahead. He plays the short pass game with Mata. That is something we can utilize on a non-important match, or maybe no match is like less important, I would say. But for the Carabao Cup or games where we can experiment, this is not a game we can afford to lose, right? So I don't see Van de Beek starting alongside Bruno in this one.
I think there are a lot of points that sort of make sense. That Van de Beek could start. I think Aryan and Vishesh have made a sort of decent argument as to why they could start. But Paras and me both are worried about the physical aspect being lost from that game and us getting overrun in midfield. So I think we'll have to see how this plays out tactically. I think there are both of them are valid arguments. I personally don't think Van de Beek will start, and I think he won't start either. But it's a nice idea to maybe bring on and explore if we are down or if we need him. But let's move on. Both Paras and Aryan and even Vishesh has mentioned preseason. Now the fact is that Spurs have played almost 6 games since the season has begun. Do you think that their players are going to come in fatigued? Already they've lost Heung-min Son. So how do we see that going? I see Vishesh nodding his head, so let me bring him in first. They've
I
already
don't
lost
think
Son.
they'll be fatigued. I think they know this is the last game before the international break. They know they'll give it their all. They've started the season off well. Mourinho isn't going to allow them to slip off, especially against Manchester United, because he knows what the reaction will be if they lose. They're just missing Son. I think Bale has been said to be out, so Bale won't be there, which is a great thing. Son is injured, which helps us as well, but Harry Kane is there. Lucas Moura is there, and so on and so forth. So it's going to be a tough game.
So
That's for sure, because they've
Vishesh, you
definitely
mentioned a very important player there in Harry Kane. Aryan, how do you think our defense handles a Harry Kane? Because up till now we've played teams that don't really head the ball that well. But now we've got someone in Harry Kane, we've got Toby Alderweireld on the other side. So it's not just a defensive threat like Ben White and Dunk, but even Harry Kane is a brilliant hold-up play. Sort of, he'll bring others into play. So how do you think we handle that threat?
Exactly why I feel Bai is going to start instead of Lindelof, because he's much better like in air rather than Lindelof. And like and I feel I mean, like, I personally want Maguire to be fit for the match, because we will need like people who can head the ball outside the D box when when the balls are whipped in from from the likes of Bergwijn, or from from someone else, from Lucas Moura for that matter. Because when they are whipping in the balls, like from, or maybe Regulan and Oria, when they're whipping in the balls, and if you've seen Aurier and Regulon play, like in Regulon while playing for Sevilla, he was putting such great balls in. And like if you've seen Aurier play, he's the best. According to me, he's the best ball playing uh, like fullback for Tottenham. So that is what is important, like to get someone who can head the ball. And like and of course Luke Shaw will also help with that, because he's also great putting out crosses outside the D box when he's ahead. So
Right.
that is what I feel.
Right. Paras, let me come to you. You've heard both Vishesh and Aryan highlight the threats. So, what do you think your prediction is for the game? How do you see it playing out? And how do you see us winning this game, or do you see a draw? Do you see a KG affair, or do you see some sort of a goal fest?
I think it won't be a goal fest for sure. It would be more like a game which is very tight game, not very an open-ended game, and not a lot of chances created, because I think both of the team would be very cautious going ahead, and it won't be a very interesting or very attractive game, I would say. It would be more like a 1-1 or 2 or probably 2-1, one team winning, edging through a, you can say, free kick or something like that. Probably a game which would be even on both the sides, because I think both the teams are at the same level right now. So I wouldn't go in favor of United or Tottenham. I would say a 1-1 or 2-1. 2-1 in case somebody nicks in, probably 2-1 to United, or 1-1 as a top.
Right. And which United player do you think is going to be standout come Sunday?
Stand out. I think if Bruno starts, it has to be Bruno. Like,
Right.
I
Right.
absolutely love him. But I think if we have seen Rashford coming back to slight bit of form, I expect him to do well. And
Mhm.
if he is back to what he is, I think no one can stop him.
Yeah, Paras, I think I agree that if Bruno starts, he's going to be one of the most important players for Man United. But Aryan, you don't think Bruno is going to start. So, what kind of scoreline are you expecting, and which player is going to be standout?
I mean, I'm gonna expect that, like, it's gonna be, if you've seen other if you've seen all United Tottenham matches, it's gonna be a box to box game.
Yeah.
uh, United and Tottenham countering each other every time, because Mourinho's gonna sit back, or maybe, and while we are attacking, and we're gonna sit back while they're attacking, and it's gonna be a box to box game for sure. And that is why I feel like Van de Beek should be playing, because he's a box to box player. And I think I feel Martial or Rashford will perform well on Sunday, uh, and giving us goals. If Bruno's there, I love to see Bruno, because I absolutely love him. He's a fantastic player. He's changed the team around for us after the January out of the winter transfer window. So I see either Rashford or Martial getting the man of the match.
Okay. Okay. And the score you said?
Score, I feel the score should be around what Paras said, 2-1 or 3-2, because like it's gonna be a countering game, so it's not gonna it's gonna be like either Harry Kane gonna getting a goal, or maybe Bergwijn getting a goal like he did like last time, just running through the defense. So I feel going to get a 2-1 or 3-2.
Okay, and Vishesh, your scoreline prediction and player of the match?
1-0 to United and Maguire.
Okay.
Maguire
For
header.
me, actually,
I'm not saying Maguire scores the goal. I'm saying Maguire's the man of the match because of his defensive abilities.
I'm actually going to pick a different scoreline. I think it will be a 3-1 victory for Man United, and Mason Greenwood will be the man of the match. Playing from that right hand side, as Aryan has said, that probably Reguilon is a great ball playing player, but Ben Davies and Reguilon both aren't very good defensively, and I feel Greenwood can exploit that, and I think United will win 3-1. All these mind games Ole is on about, I think it's finally going to pay off for once. And I really do. I'm confident going into this game because also Spurs have played so many other matches, and I can't wait for a Jose Mourinho rant about how it's everything. So our life has been unfair to him. So anyway, thanks Aryan and thanks Paras for joining him. We had some technical difficulties. We apologize for that with Paras, but it was a great discussion, and I think we have got we are not very confident going into this game, but we're confident enough to edge it. So let's see what happens on Sunday, and let's see how Manchester United take on Tottenham Hotspurs. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and go and follow MUSC Delhi. Thank you, guys.